What's up, everybody? It's your favorite oven baked pizza's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the X-Transbots Gravestone. Now, I know that's not the same as Tombstone, but let's just say for general purposes and practices it is. Let's say intensive purposes. Let's say intense in purposes. Let's say iridescent porpoises. Or let's say none of those things. This is on loan to me from Jeremy B. I appreciate it. I have one coming. I'm trying a new distributor, so I'll let you know how that goes, and I might work with him more in the future. Who knows? But everybody's been hitting me up about this, so I took Jeremy up on his generous offer and decided to review this. So we're going to, but first we're going to do accessories. So he comes with his rather iconic blaster rifle, and it looks nice. It's sculpted well, and it's painted with the metallic purple. So you're not going to hear a complaint out of me. He'll hold his rifle by tabbing it into his palm and wrapping his fingers around in typical Masterpiece style. And he comes with his equally iconic sword. Now, this one is painted with this black metallic, and it does look good. However, if it had a few extra colors on it, it would look nicer than what it does. And it's unfortunate because it's painted nicer, but I do feel like some deco on this would have gone a long way. He'll hold his sword by tabbing it into his palm, wrapping the fingers around in typical Masterpiece style. There are two tabs back here, or pegs, that you can tab your sword onto if you would like. The rifle has a hole on one side of it that you can also use your other peg, and you can store both at the same time if you so desire. And he comes with one alternate, but I like the Giorno better face. I don't know, I don't have anything. Pink paint, purple metallic eyes, looks good. Gimmick wise, the trailer will attach, the trailer of MP10 will attach to these two ports on the back of the legs, which is interesting. I guess his trailer is going to attach the same way. You do get a pretty decent range out of it. Let me back out a little bit. You know, you do get a decent bend, so no complaints there really either. It'd be interesting to see how that kind of correlates, but food for thought. Vehicle mode is beautiful. You have the black metallic paint, you have the purple, two shades of purple metallic paint added on, you have the silver on the wheels, you have rubber tires, silver up here, translucent plastic here, and you can see the bits behind it. I'm not usually crazy about that, but because the translucent is so dark, doesn't bother me much. Windshield wipers, like it's silver down here with translucent pieces, some gold. This is some pride, energy, effort put into this piece. Look at all that. They didn't need to paint that. Most people are going to use this with the trailer if they do use it, but they did. Looks great as a result. Things look good when you paint and sculpt the shit out of them. That's just how it goes. And it looks good. So, I don't really have a whole lot negative to say. I do have a fair amount of size comparisons to show you. There he is with MP10. So, pretty much in line. No issues there. There he is with Fans Toys Breakdown. So, that looks good as well. So let's get him transformed. Disconnect here by bending up here in the middle, and it's not the best. As a heads up, tolerance wise, it's not the best, so use a bit of caution. I'll try to show you it can be a bit of a struggle because you got to get this piece out from underneath this piece. Get those out of the way. You need to disconnect this back section, loosen up a bit. That'll help get these pieces out. Get yourself a little bit of space. Each one of these will bend around to the opposite side and collapse. In order to get it all the way, secure the smokestack and then flap this piece over and around. No problemo other than that one section to disconnect so far. Split the legs, but when you do so, use caution because getting this hook unhooked will put stress on this piece of plastic, so just be mindful. Then open up this entire portion here on the side and extend the leg. We'll do that on this side as well. We're going to open up that entire section, and then we're going to extend the leg or sweep the leg if you'd rather do that. That's up to you. Fold your black piece towards the purple fuel tank, and then that down towards the bottom, and then you want to rotate so that the front of the truck is facing the front of the bot. At this point, you want to untab the foot here, slide that forward, which is nice, simple, and easy. You want to fold these wheels towards the outside. And this makes me a little nervous. I'm gonna... There. And you also want to fold this heel out that is tucked up inside of there. And that's your foot done. Come back around and close this all in, and then fold that flap down, and that's one leg done. We'll go ahead and do that one more time. Fold in, and then we're going to make sure that the front of the cab is facing the front of the figure. We're going to slide the foot out. Oh no, we have to untab it first. Then slide it out. And then we want to fold these wheels up and fold the heel out. At that point, we can fold this back around, snap it into place, fold the flap down. Really well done. Split the arms and swing them out towards the outside. And then make sure, if you see here, it's not sitting quite flush. Let me bring the camera up a bit. So slide it towards the front of the bot until it's sitting nice and tight against the front. People have been reporting stress marks on the piece that connects the upper body to the lower body, and sure enough, he has one. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's right along the seam where the pin goes through it. So I'm gonna use caution, but he definitely has one. It's definitely there, and it probably has to do with this plastic choice used. This is that gummy, kind of trashier plastic that's not used for most of this guy, but it is used here. You have flank pieces that are tucked up inside, and I'm gonna need a tool. But swing them out and clip them into location. Same on this side. And then these pieces come down and secure those flank pieces and keep them stable and in position. Disconnect the roof of the vehicle from its position and rock it down to get it out of the way. You can then flip up your two windows here as well. You want to bring the chest out, and you want to, let me back out just a taste. Swing the head through the chest, and it is not a good fit. And around. When it gets to here, flip the collarbone down, then get it all the way up, so to speak, and flip these side portions of it down. You can put the tires in. They have to go in at an angle. It will fix itself. And you can flip these back windows back down. These arms are on sliders. You can see right there where that screw is. They'll slide out. So make sure they're slid all the way out. It usually happens during the transformation. You need to get these, hard to see with all the black plastic, these little tabs here underneath those sliding portions. And it's a little challenging to see, but once it's in there, it'll sit nice. Then the upper window of the cab will fold underneath. For the arms, separate the shoulder from the side piece, so to speak. Fold this one flap around, and then the other flap around, and then this piece here, you want to push, and this will create the clearance for the window. the side mirror that'll come up and over and tab in. So we'll do that again, but I'll try to get you a different perspective. Separate the shoulder. Flap 1, flap 2, flap 3, fold around, and then this comes up and over. Now, just get your shoulders out of the way. Open up your chest here. And then bring this up. It'll double hinge down and lock it into everything. Then all you have left is the arms. Just unfurl them. As you do, extend the bicep. Bring this flap around. Actually, you gotta get one flap out of there. Then bring all the flaps kind of around and sandwich the fist in place. And this tab right there is a little ornery. Boom. Same for this side. Extend. Flap, flap. Oh, shoot, I forgot that again. Flap, flap, flap. Flap life. Bring the fist down, the fist flap, and sandwich it all together. Orient the arm so that it makes sense. I'll get it cleaned up and we will take a look. So let's talk about the figure. We had the nice pink metallic paint, purple metallic paint around the box of the head, but the colors are off, right? Like it should be a gray box, so to speak. There's some weird choices there. The head does swivel and the head does look down, but that's inside. So the hinge is on the inside of the box and the swivel's on the outside, and it will look down as well. So it all works, and it's an interesting way to do it. I don't hate that, and it kind of beats the problem of the box head. So I'm kind of into that. We have painted die cast for the chest. Looks great. We have the purple translucent with the silver. It looks like details behind it. No issues. Waist swivel. Ab crunch, I'm going to be very careful not to put any extra strain. Oh, it looks bad. It's starting to look worse, so I'm not going to go any further. But there it is. I would advise not using it, but there it is. And you know what? I was going to do a comparison amongst the three, but I don't know if I feel I just kind of want to get this guy back safely in the box and off and out of my hands. But it looks good. All right, we have arm articulation out the wazoo. Ratcheted shoulder joint up to 90 degrees, ratcheted around, so no issues there. It does kind of start bumping some of these flaps loose, and we have a butterfly joint on a hinge right there. So all of that works nicely. The arms are even painted and look good. Bicep swivel, elbow, single hinge, but gets you past 90 degrees. The wrist, so the wrist swivel, that pin just came out. I'll fix that. I can fix that. The wrist swivel, the thumb is on a ball peg with a base pin knuckle at the first knuckle and then a pin at the secondary, and each of the other fingers are on a base pin knuckle individually articulated with a pin at the second and tertiary fingers. So fully articulated, but as you can see, not without issues, which is unfortunate. Same on the other side. We have hip skirts that'll get up and out of the way on the sides and on the back. For ratcheted universals, ratcheted forward, get you out to there, back to there, so full Monty, and out to the side for the full Van Damme, no issue. We have a thigh swivel that's built around that. It is die cast, you don't get a lot out of it, but it is enough. You add on top of that you have a swivel down here, you'll be able to get everything that you need out of that, so no issues. Single hinged, ratcheted knee, gets you 90 degrees. The thighs are completely painted, by the way. For the lower legs, we have the translucent purple with the silver details behind it. Very good. Purple paint down here, silver paint, and then the silver details there that we've kind of already talked about. We have an ankle tilt up that's ratcheted to a great range. a slight ankle tilt down, and an extreme rocker. So all of that works well. You can articulate the heel spur as well. And tons of paint. There he is from the back. Pretty well done. These flaps here are a little intense in person. Like, they haven't bothered me in any pictures or anything I've seen recently, but seeing them in hand they're very pronounced. So be aware of that. But that's him in a nutshell. There he is with Magic Square Prime. So he sits a fair bit taller than Magic Square Prime. And I feel like he was supposed to be about the same height. So that's interesting to see. We'll see how that plays out. And there he is with the other two Motormasters. And it's interesting because he's not that much shorter than the other two, which are kind of scaled larger. So I'm going to put him next to Unique Toys Onslaught next. But this is interesting. It also shows you the different color palette and kind of what works and what doesn't. It's kind of maybe I will do the comparison. We'll see how things go. And there he is with the Unique Toys Onslaught. And he's slightly taller, but not crazy. And there he is with the rest of the team. And I think that looks great. Very well done. Nicely done. Not perfect, but whatever it is. A nice put together team. Final thoughts wise, let's talk about the negatives. And they are few, but they are present. We'll first address the pinned fingers, right? Because that was an issue and shouldn't have been. Pinned fingers are something new for X-Transbots. They haven't always done them. And they also get outward movement on those fingers as well. I was just scared to touch them after the fallout there. But they do have outward motion similar to what Toy World and Zeta did with their combiner hands. So the fingers can kind of spread apart. But this is relatively new stuff for KFC or X-Transbots, whatever. And as a result, you know, their inexperience shows there. The major stress mark that runs through that center piece of plastic, that's really unfortunate because there's no coming back from that one. And when that one decides it's had enough and it goes, the toy is ruined. It's over. Lights out, close the door when you leave. It's not a minor break, it's catastrophic. I also think it's weird that they chose the wrong color for the helmet, both inside the box and then the box itself. That's a bit of a bummer. My only other issue with this thing are the kind of panel wings that jut out from the back. It's one of those things I wouldn't ever think would bother me, but having it in hand, it bothers me. I don't know what to say other than that. Not the biggest deal in the world, not a deal breaker, but not pleasant. There's a lot of panels and flaps and folds on this, and as you go to manipulate it, a lot of this stuff tends to kind of come loose. So be advised of that as well. However, this does have plenty of positives. It's painted beautifully. X-Transbots is just getting better and better and better with their paint. It's sculpted beautifully. Face expression is a little wonky, but the rest of it is really sculpted well. There's detail, and there's just refined line work. The accessories are appropriate. The price is right. It's a bit of a bummer that the trailer didn't come with it, but if that means they had to hold off so they could get it right, I'm willing to take that charge. The materials feel great, with the exception of that one type of plastic that's kind of on here specifically in that color. So when you see that color, that's that plastic. It's on the piece that pegs into the chest. It's on the waist piece. It's also on the piece that hooks together at the back of the truck. Speaking of the truck is beautiful. Beautiful. This will be my alt mode set. All of the alt modes look amazing. Articulation works pretty much across the board with the exception of the ankle tilts. You don't get much of the down, but you do get a good up. The materials, like I said, feel good, and the hardware is amazing. Ratchets on this thing everywhere. And as a result, it sits pretty stable in pretty much every pose you get it in. So it's a recommend from me. I'm debating on whether or not to do the comparison. I don't know if I have time to do it this week regardless, but I might end up doing it. Thanks to Jeremy, and thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.